Hey, like fans, how's everybody doing? Friday, there was only 2 games on the board. It started off really good. Winnipeg and Vancouver, 3-2 for Vancouver. We got that one right. And then also the best bet was Colorado. They won 7-3. So my best bet and the parlay of those 2 games, both of those hit, which was nice. Picks were 2-0. Everything was nice. Friday was just a great day. If only every day could be like that. But we're going to move on. Saturday, November 20th, there are 13 games, actually 12. The one game, the New York Rangers in Ottawa, that's postponed. So there's 12 games, quite a bit to go through. So we'll go through them. We'll make some picks for Saturday, see if we can continue to have a really strong weekend. First game, we have Carolina against the LA Kings. LA has Cal Peterson listed to be in net. They're 7-2-1 with a current 1-game losing streak. Taking on Carolina with Frederik Andersen in net, 8-2-0 with a current 3-game winning streak. The Kings played on Wednesday with their Chrome Caps when they played Washington. Washington won that game 2-0, scoreless until late in the third, and then the Capitals scored 2 in under or just over 2 minutes. The LA had an 8-game point streak going on, playing some really good, hard-fought hockey and definitely fighting for every point. Goaltending has been really good. They sit in 6th in goals against, but they're still struggling a little bit in goals for, sitting in 25th. So they're going to have to figure that out if they're going to want to stay competitive. Playing a number 1 Metropolitan Carolina team who played Anaheim on Thursday. Close game. They ended up winning it, though, 2-1. The Canes with the lowest goals against, sitting at 28, and a goal differential of plus 23, which is just awesome for them. No problem finding the twine for the Carolina Hurricanes. Frederik Andersen, one of the top goaltenders in the league right now with a 10-2-0 record. 1.71 goals against with a .941 save percentage, 1 recorded shootout. Only 2 losses so far for this Carolina team, and I think it's going to stay that way against LA. This is a first of 2 games, but I think Carolina is just too strong. Money line. Okay, so when I do these videos, I'm going to go, their records are going to be their last 10. I think that's what's important when we're looking at a game. And when I list their bets, I'm going to list American odds and the decimal odds, and I'll do both. So what I'll do is I'll go Carolina minus 160 or 1.62. LA plus 140 or 2.4. That's how I'll do it from now on. Over-under set at 5.5. I like the visiting favorite here, Carolina to win the game. That's my first pick. Next game, New Jersey Devils against Tampa. Tampa has Vasilevsky listed to be in net. They're 7-1-2 with a current 3-game winning streak, taking on the Devils. Devils are in town with Mackenzie Blackwood in net. They're 4-3-3 with a current 1-game losing streak. Tampa went to Philadelphia on Thursday, and it ended as a 4-3 shootout win for the Lightning. 1-for-3 on their power play. It was a nice rally after being down 2-0. Come back, win. Braden Point with 7 points in his last 5 games. Stamkos with 4 goals. Tampa is starting definitely to look more like the defending champs that we all think of, and they're playing some good hockey. Not great hockey, though. Definitely not great. Playing a Devils team that was looking good, and they seem to be struggling, losing the last 3. Last game on Thursday was a 4-1 loss to a strong Florida team. Dougie Hamilton with the only goal for the Devils. They outshot the Panthers 46-41. Spencer Knight, I believe, was in net for Florida that night, and he played really well, but it wasn't like they weren't putting it on the net. Tampa has only 2 more wins than this New Jersey team. New Jersey's one of these teams, kind of like Nashville, just quietly going about their business. Tampa also starting a back-to-back here. They're playing Minnesota on Sunday, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Brian Elliott in net here and save Vasilevsky to play Minnesota on Sunday. Moneyline, New Jersey, plus 175 or 2.75. Tampa, minus 210 or 1.47. Home, heavily favored here. Over-under set at 5.5. I see great value with New Jersey here to come in and beat this Tampa team. They've always played Tampa pretty good. And yeah, I'm going visiting dog here. I like the value, New Jersey Devils to win the game. Next game, Minnesota against Florida. This could be a really, really good game. Florida doing great, 5-2-3, current 2-game winning streak. Bobrovsky listed to be in net for the Panthers. Minnesota, Cam Talbot listed to be in net. They're 6-4-0 with a current 1-game winning streak. Panthers have 9 wins at home now. Longest streak going for sure. Number 1 in the Atlantic. Panthers beat the New Jersey Devils Thursday 4-1. Florida is one of 2 teams who haven't been handed a home loss yet. The other one is the New York Islanders, but they haven't played a home game yet. Their first home game will be this Saturday. Huberdeau leading the way right now with 5 points in his last 5. Florida has outscored opponents 10-2 in the last 2 games. Playing a Minnesota team, though, that also has no problem finding the back of the net. Currently holds first place in their division, the Central, coming off a 7-2 win over Dallas on Thursday. Definitely their best game of the season so far. Kaprizov recorded his first 4-point night on that Thursday game and leading the Wild with 6 points in his last 5 games. Wild in a very respectable fourth when it comes to goals for. They're definitely playing a tough back-to-back here this weekend. Florida on Saturday, Tampa on Sunday. One thing, though, Florida is going to be missing is Barkov, and he's the leading point scorer for these Panthers. And it's going to make me lean to Minnesota here. I'm going to look at another visiting dog. Money line, plus 125 for Minnesota or 2.25. Florida, minus 145 or 1.68. Over-under set at 6. So they're looking to expect some goals here. I like the visiting dog here as well, just like the last game. Minnesota to win the game, that's my pick. Next game, Pittsburgh against Toronto. Toronto, Jack Campbell listed to be in net. They're 9-1-0. Current 5-game winning streak against Pittsburgh, who has Tristan Jarry listed. They're 3-5-2 with a current 1-game winning streak. Toronto has the longest current winning streak in the league right now. Second place in the Atlantic, 2 points behind Florida. On Thursday, close game with the Rangers, but they came out on top. They won the game 2-1. Matthews with 7 points in his last 5 games. Campbell has been great between the pipes. He's got a 10-3-1 record, a 1.63 goals against with a .944 save percentage. And the Leafs' success, it's kind of been coming from their power play, from their penalty kill, and their goals against. They got to get some more goals for, and that's something that they're going to have to do, else they're going to run into some problems. But they're playing a Pittsburgh team. They defeated Montreal last game 6-0 on Thursday, but this team is having some serious struggles. Penguins are 32nd in power play, and this is a second game on their Canadian trip that I think is going to be a little different than the Montreal game. Toronto is just going to be another beast to deal with. They're going to be ramped up for this game. You have to remember, this is the second of 3 games these teams are going to play, and Pittsburgh won on October 23rd, 7-1. Toronto's going to turn that around. Toronto's going to win this game. Moneyline, Pittsburgh, plus 155 or 2.55. Toronto, minus 175 or 1.57. Over-under set at 6. I like the home favorite here. Toronto to win the game. That's my pick. Next one, Nashville against Montreal. Montreal has Jake Allen listed. They're 2-6-2, current 3-game losing streak. Nashville has Saros listed. They're 7-2-1 with a current 1-game losing streak. Canadiens off that 6-0 beatdown by Pittsburgh on Thursday. Last 3 games, they have been outscored 14-4. Second worst goal differential at a minus 29. Not sure if Jake Allen's going to be cleared yet from concussion protocol. We could see Sam Montembeault in net again. I'm not sure. Having Nashville come to town, also off a loss when they played Toronto on Tuesday when they were blanked 3-0. They had a game scheduled against Ottawa for Thursday, but it's been postponed. Now, they're finishing off this road trip before heading home against Montreal. I think we could even see Riddick here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Riddick get some more ice time. Granlund leading with 6 points in his last 5 games. Matt Duchene with 4 goals in his last 5. This is the first of 2 games they're going to play. Moneyline minus 115 for Nashville or 1.86. Montreal minus 105 or 1.95. So Vegas is a little split on this one. Nashville is the visiting favorite. I'm going to go with Nashville to win the game. That's going to be my pick. Nashville over Montreal. Next game, we have Calgary taking on the New York Islanders. Islanders are 4-4-2, current 4-game losing streak. Sorokin listed to be in net against Calgary. That has Markstrom listed. They're 4-2-4 with a current 1-game winning streak. I don't know what's going on with the Islanders. They're on a skid. Last game on Tuesday was a 6-1 loss to Florida. I had to look twice, but they've been outscored 19-4 in the last 4 games. Here we go, though. First game at home. Is it going to turn things around? As soon as that happened, they had some more bad news. Josh Bailey's out. Anders Lee is out. Ross Johnston is out, all with COVID. Ryan Pulock injured. They're going to be calling up some help to get them through this for sure. Goaltending has been off. They're 0-12 on the power play. And yeah, problems with New York. Is this going to be what they need to play at home? New stadium in front of their fans. Playing Calgary. Calgary last played Buffalo Thursday. They had a commanding 5-0 win over Buffalo. Markstrom leading the league with his 5th recorded shootout. And this is the 6th road game in 7-game road trip for these Calgary Flames. Struggling New York team playing a Calgary team that is having the best start of a season that they've had in an incredibly long time. Money line, Calgary is minus 105 or 1.95. New York minus 115 or 1.86. Over under set at 5.5. I'm an Islanders fan. I'm excited to watch this game. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to turn things around. This is a good, talented team. They got a ton of talent on the team. They have a good coach. I can't see them losing their home opener, that's for sure. Islanders to win the game, that's going to be my pick. Next game, we got Boston against Philadelphia. Philadelphia has Carter Hart listed. They're 5-3-2 with an overtime decision. Boston, Linus Ullmark confirmed to be in net. They're 6-4-0 with a current 2-game winning streak. Thursday was a tight hockey game for Philly when they lost to Tampa 4-3 in a shootout. Philly in a win-lose pattern, which has went on for at least the last 10 games. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one. And the pattern says they're going to win this game. The Flyers seem to play to their opponent. Yeah, some of the wins they've had. 2-for-1 against Calgary. 2-for-1 against 2-1 over Carolina. 2-for-1 over Washington. All impressive wins for this Philadelphia team. Goaltending has sure helped keep them in these games. There's no question there. And, you know, playing a Boston team that's coming off the longest break out of any team here, other than Ottawa, who's off because of COVID. But their last game was Sunday when they defeated Montreal 5-2. Pasternak producing with 8 points in his last 5 games. And this will be the second of 3 games. October 20th, Philly doubled up Boston 6-3. Boston's playing okay, and they got a 2-game winning streak going, but they're not playing great hockey either. Their goaltending hasn't been that good. Ullmark definitely lets in his share of goals. I like Philadelphia here. On the money line, Boston pays minus 135 or 1.74. Philly plus 115 or 2.15. Home dog here. I like the home dog. 2.15 Philadelphia to win the game. That's my pick. Next game, we got Detroit against Arizona. Arizona, Scott Wedgwood listed. They're 2-7-1 with an overtime decision. Detroit has Nedeljkovic listed to be in net. They're 4-6-0 with a current 3-game losing streak. Last place, Arizona. Yeah, they have as many regulation wins as Dallas. Last played Columbus on Thursday. It was a good hockey game. I mean, they ended up losing in a shootout 5-4. And before that on Thursday, a 3-2 win over St. Louis. Still last place in goals for and goals against. I mean, Arizona's, they're going to win some games. And, I mean, there's definitely some signs of light, which is great for this team. Playing Detroit, who are also having a tough time. They're on a skid, 3 in a row. Losses to Vegas, 5-2, 5-2 to Dallas. And before that, 5-3 to Columbus. An overtime win against Montreal, 3-2. And a 2-0 loss to Washington. 4 losses in the last 5. And the only win was against this Montreal team. Dylan Larkin still producing with 6 points in his last 5. But guys like Bertuzzi, they've fallen off. 2 assists in his last 5 games. Team's struggling. Detroit is struggling. And Arizona seems to be surging. Even though that last one was a loss, it was a loss in a shootout. And before that, a win over St. Louis. Maybe got some good positive energy. Moneyline has Detroit favored at 1.66 or minus 150. Arizona plus 130 or 2.3. Another home dog that I like. Some of these dogs this Saturday, I think there's incredible value, and I think we see that with Arizona here. Over/under set at 5.5. Arizona's my pick. Next game, St. Louis against Dallas. Dallas has Jake Ottinger listed to be in net. They're 3-5-2 with a current 1-game losing streak. Against St. Louis, Jordan Binnington listed to be in net. They're 4-4-2 with a current 1-game winning streak. Thursday was the last time Dallas played, and they're going to want to forget that game as it was a 7-2 loss to Minnesota. Khudobin was in net for that game. Dallas, only had 1 5-on-5 goal, and the second one was when they were on a power play. Power play has been their one shining light. I mean, they sit third in the league for the power play, but all other stats are pretty bad for this Dallas team. Still only with 2 regulation wins. Both came just before the 7-2 loss to the Wild. Blues finally righted the ship after losing 4 straight on Thursday when they won 4-1 over San Jose. Blues peppered San Jose, outshooting them 48-27, going 1-for-4 on the power play. And the Blues are in every game. All 4 losses that they had are only 1-goal losses. They haven't been blown out at all. Binnington, who last played against Arizona when he let in 3 on 23 shots and did not look good. This is a first of 4 games. A third-place Central team against a sixth-place Central team. Money line plus 105 for St. Louis, 2.05. Dallas minus 125 or 1.8. I don't think Dallas should be favored here. I think St. Louis is a better team. I think Dallas might be angry after that loss, but I just don't think that they have everything figured out yet. And St. Louis, I think, is a more complete team. If Binnington can show up and play a good game, I think St. Louis wins this game. St. Louis is going to be my pick. Next game, Columbus against Vegas. Vegas has Robin Leonard listed to be in net. They're 7-3-0 with a current 1-game winning streak. Columbus, Merzlikins listed to be in net. They're 6-4-0, current 2-game winning streak. As I already mentioned on Thursday, when Vegas had Detroit come to town, the Knights were victorious with a final score of 5-2. Vegas has won the last 4 of 5 at home now. Riley Smith with 4 goals, 2 assists in his last 5. The Knights have been looking better, although they're still struggling in the power play. They sit 29th at 13.5%. Impressive play lately for a thinned-out squad. I mean, they definitely have some bodies out. Playing Columbus, who had back-and-forth game against Arizona on Thursday that ended in a 5-4 shootout win for the Blue Jackets, out-shooting Arizona 46-29, 2 for 4 on the power play. Merzlikins comes into the game carrying a 7-2-0 record this season. Columbus having a good season. They're 10th in the power play, 9th in goals for, 10th face-off, 13th in the penalty kill. This is the first of 2 games between these two. Money line plus 130 for Colorado or 2.3. Vegas minus 150. They're favored, 1.66. I like the Metropolitan Columbus team to defeat the Pacific Division Vegas team. Columbus, I think, is going to walk in here and win. Another dog, visiting dog, Columbus to win the game. That's my pick. Next game, Chicago against Edmonton. Edmonton, Mikko Koskinen listed to be in net. They're 7-3-0 with a current 1-game winning streak against Chicago. Kevin Lankinen listed to be in net. They're 5-4-1 with a current 4-game winning streak. First place in the Pacific, the Edmonton Oilers played Winnipeg on Thursday. And thanks to McDavid Magic, the Oilers pushed the game into extra time, won 2-1 in a shootout. It was an important win for the Oilers, who lost to the Jets on Tuesday 5-2. Team a little beat up and having to call up some defensemen from the Condors. The last 7 games have been win 1, lose 1. They're kind of in that pattern as well. It says they're going to lose here, and it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they're playing a hot Chicago Blackhawks team, winning 4 in a row now. Last game against the Seattle Kraken when the Hawks doubled them up 4-2. Kevin Lankinen, who is listed to be in net, last played when their 4-game streak began, a game against Nashville, with Chicago won 2-1 in overtime. Marc-Andre Fleury, who's played the last 3 games, has been phenomenal. There's no question. And then Patrick Kane with 6 points in his last 5 games to break it with 3 goals in his last 5. I mean, this is going to be a test for the Hawks for sure. But they played some hard hockey lately. I just see a confident Chicago team possibly coming in here in the visiting dog. I mean, plus 170 or 2.7 for Chicago, minus 200 or 1.5 for Edmonton, over under set at 6. Visiting dog, Chicago to upset and win the game against Edmonton. Last game, Washington against San Jose. San Jose has Aiden Hill listed to be in net. They're 4-5-1. Current 1-game losing streak against Washington. Samsonov listed to be in net, 6-2-2 with a current 1-game winning streak. San Jose last played St. Louis on Thursday and lost the game 4-1. Sharks have been hurt. They've been hot and cold, losing the last 3 of 4 games, though. Aiden Hill last played a week ago when San Jose lost to Colorado 6-2 in that game. Logan Couture, top producer in the last 5 games for the Sharks with 4 points. Brett Burns with 3 assists. Penalty kill has been their best and still in first at 88.9%. But Washington playing the LA Kings on Wednesday with 2 goals late in the third. The Caps won 2-0. Samsonov with 34 saves and his second shutout of the season. Garnett Hathaway scored both goals, now 5 goals in his last 5 games. Washington in a very respectable 5th for goals for, 3rd goals against. This is the first of 2 games this season. Money line minus 125 for Washington or 1.8, plus 105 for the Sharks or 2.05. Over under set at 6. Ovechkin, last 2 games without a point. The Sharks have won more on the road than at home for sure. Home, they haven't been as good. Ovechkin's going to be playing hard here. I see Washington visiting team here. I know they're favored, but I'm going to go favorite team here to win that game. Here's what I'm going to do for my wagers. Best bet, I'm going to call St. Louis to win the game. Money line 2.05 or plus 105. I think that's a great pick for a best bet. I'm going to do 2 parlays. I'm going to go Nashville and Columbus, both on the money line to win. Next one, I'm going to go Islanders and Toronto, both on the money line to win. I'm going to go 1 over under. That's going to be the Nashville Montreal game, over 5.5. I like it. It pays plus 1.05 or 2.05. Regular picks: Washington to beat San Jose, Chicago to beat Edmonton, Columbus to beat Vegas, St. Louis to beat Dallas, Arizona to beat Detroit, Philadelphia to beat Boston, Islanders to win their first home game, Nashville to beat Montreal, Toronto to beat Pittsburgh, Minnesota to beat Florida, the Devils to beat Tampa, finally Carolina to beat LA. Lots of hockey. Have a great Saturday. Good luck with your picks. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.